we're not just some Tai Chi class here. We're developing I think a pretty big work, breakthrough stuff.
So can I ask you two quick questions? One of the things I notice is when I push, I do that.
Well,
You know,
you mean from
should I
your
not push? Should I not push so that the shoulder blades round and go forward?
are you saying from your old training?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. Okay, what's your second point? What's your
Uh,
second point?
the other thing I've discovered, for good or bad, and I can't understand. I don't know physically what it is, but I recently discovered that when I'm about to do something, if my hands stretch a tiny bit before I start to do something, it seems to focus. It focuses what I feel as energy. I don't know whether it's just blood in my hands or it's energy. I can't tell what the difference is. Um,
Beautiful.
the difference
Beautiful.
between just moving back and forth and starting it in the hand
When did that come about? When did that revelation happen?
2 days ago.
And you're telling me you haven't been progressing?
Well, I don't know. I
No,
didn't do anything for a long time. I got so frustrated, and I
that's
had no space.
I know, but that's progress. Just
Okay,
that's
that's
like
a good thing, though. You're saying.
that's a Tong Bi. You had a Tong Bi just now.
Okay.
And guess what? Isn't that opening? Tong. You had an opening. And guess what the hands represent? Organs. Your organs are awakening. And they're manifesting in the posturing of your hands. That's great. I'll confirm that.
Okay.
But how's that connected to how's that connected to the first point?
The first point was just something. I mean, after the session we had, the Tong Bi session we had, I noticed that I was walking, and I was, my posture was better,
Yeah.
because even trying to stand up straighter during the form, keep the structure, as you put it.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about my shoulder blades at all.
That's right. That's right.
And so even just walking now, I notice, but then I realized that, often I'm really my arms aren't this is not that long. So, sometimes I think I'm pushing farther than I should and don't need to.
Do you see the connection between your 2 points? They're directly connected. They're,
Okay.
they're directly connected, by the way. Can I make just a suggestion to help pull it together?
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead. You want to say something? Okay. The awareness you just had of your pushing, of your posture while pushing,
Mhm.
comes from Tong Bi also. You're aware of this
Yeah.
this register. And so I think you could do it right now as we're speaking, sitting here. But if you just do your push, I think you'll go in here anyway. I think you're just asking for permission. I think you know what you want to do. You're just asking for permission because it's too good. What the two observations you just made, they one follows another in a conversation.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you basically you're again you're beginning with habits that are long held and that were taught by authorities. So we have to give it due respect and consideration because it was a standard you learned. But your body is now taking over as the standard. Your body is now using its own feeling to tell you what's right and wrong. And you wanted to know about the hands to gain permission because that is one of the main confirmations of correct practice for you that you can start using now.
Okay.
Because if we sit here as we speak, taking this revelation that I'm confirming you had,
Mhm.
we're just going to apply it to the push, Alan. And you're not going to let yourself do this, but you're going to insist on pushing with the Tong Bi. And notice what happens, and it's gonna affect this. It's gonna affect the angle, right? We know that already. But the main thing is watch what it does to the hands. In other words, make whatever adjustments you need to do to the pushing to get the same effect in the fingers. Let's do it together. We'll do it together right now. Okay? Just bring the hands back, right? And then you do your push. Go for the effect. Make whatever adjustments you need in your torso until that happens. Same thing happens. The pushing is still a pushing posture, but
I used to go like this. It's
no,
weird.
notice, no, you Tong Bi, no, look at the smile. I gotta send you this recording. I'm gonna cut this piece. No, look at your smile.
Okay.
Your organs just connected. You're happy.
Yep.
It came out of your face. And you covered it by making this. I forgot what you did just now, but you opened.
Okay. All right.
You got it.
All right. Good. Good.
I will. You're the kind of person who doesn't like to linger in joy. I know that. That's why you got it. But then you got to become a serious classical pianist over again. Go ahead. Try out what I'm suggesting you listen for, because we're going to be doing exactly the same thing with Yang Shaochong, with how he does the form. It'll be exact same exercise.
I have a question. I know for Steve and Ian, which is that doing, working, the last few months with under your guidance doing the Tai Chi. I mean, it has given me, I have a completely different idea about what Tai Chi is than I did. But this is a very different. I'm just wondering if you guys had the same kind of reaction. It's a different. I thought it was one thing and it's not. It's something different. That's
Well, for me, it's the body posture's changing. What I thought was full and empty is all changed, and I want to be more lighter and yet heavier. It's a different feeling through the body now.
Mhm.
Is that the same with you, Alan?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot more. It feels a lot lighter.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the way I did it. I mean, it was tense. Everything about a lot of it was very tense and very, strained.
Yeah.
And just seeing that you can basically kind of do the same moves without that is a big. It's a very different thing, and I don't know I don't know exactly what the angle method is, but I can see that also is not as cramped and intent, like that. It has an elegance and a flow that I didn't feel before. Even though it's different from, say, square form.
I think I made a point to give each of you at least one private session of the angle, just by way of introduction. I've made sure to expose your person, your body, to a little bit of the contrast. But and I think everything everyone has said is accurate. But and it's never cramping, because that's just not right. But if we speak intensity, angle is like it, within that ease that you're describing, you'll never have experienced anything more intense within the ease. within the ease. So it's that's when we go back to the Jing concept, the Chinese medicine idea of Jing, which incorrectly in acupuncture and everything, or naively, is only relegated to kidneys. Yeah, that's true. We all have some experiences of this highest level of being, and that we'll be sharing that with each other as part of this recovery of the Shengren. We're coming from the outside to help recover Tai Chi. Steve, how's work?
Exhausting, sir. I've just finished a 7-day stretch, so I'm off tomorrow. So admin and then back into my training.
But do you guys know about Steve's past? Steve, as of 1 year ago, do you mind sharing?
Oh, wow.
No, just keep it short. Keep it short.
Oh, God, how do I share this? So, going from being a police bodyguard, trying to be an entrepreneur, opening a full-time martial arts center that went bust, and I ended up on the streets, basically. So, I lost everything. I lost my wife, divorce, lost the house, I lost everything. And as a result of that, basically, I ended up in a position in life where I was an inch off the streets. And I was so scared to do anything, I just stayed an inch off the streets for about 10 years. And then I met Dr. Mike and everything changed.
So what do you have now? Now you have a driver's license?
I have a driver's license, I have a passport, I have a bank account. It's just...
He had nothing. This guy had nothing.
Miracle. It's a miracle.
And he's a full-time job.
A full-time job.
Out of all of us, you're the one that's going through the biggest change. You're going to be reborn.
The thing is, Ian, you couldn't write it.
No.
If someone had mentioned this a year ago, I'm going to get emotional now, but so much has changed so fast. And Dr. Mike puts it down to the Tong Bi.
Yeah.
And this is it. It's the only thing that's changed is Dr. Mike. In 10 years, I've wasted 10 years of my life because I was too scared to do anything for fear of going back on the streets.
10 years is a very powerful cycle. Dr. Mike will tell you that. 2 years, yeah, but for major soul events, it takes 10 years.
Major turnover.
Yeah, takes 10 years.
Steve, one more thing. What happened to your martial arts too with the Tong Bi? At that party?
Well, it wasn't a party. I was. You mean when I was working the doors in Stoke?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, being an old man now with knackered knees and God knows what. But because of, in order to get to security, I had to. My first step in getting into security work was to get a doorman's course sorted out. So the money appeared, everything appeared, and I got it. But on paper, I didn't tick any of the boxes. I didn't have any of the requirements, but everything just happened. The point Dr. Mike's making is that I was a doorman in a nightclub, and a fight kicked off in front of me, and I sorted it out in about 20 seconds without any thought. And basically, the ringleader of the fight, I just grabbed him and I rushed him right out the club and into the streets. And I sit back and think, how the hell did that happen? I don't know how it happened. There was no thought about my bad knee. There was no thought about injury or the consequences of engagement. But I just did it, and it was over. And then I got a big pat on the back off the boss because of how effective I was. Tong Bi again.
But if you had just done your kickboxing or taekwondo or you know, the military stuff that you've been trained in, it could have been a different outcome.
Yeah, yeah. It's yeah. It's the Tong Bi. It's the Tong Bi that makes all the difference.
Thanks for that tip, Steve.
Amazing. Amazing.